Leslie with the Brain Performance Center. June is PTSD Awareness Month, and I honor and respect that. It started back in 2010 when a senator named a PTSD Day after a military officer that died as a result of PTSD. Then in 2014, the Senate voted to extend the entire month of June to recognize the awareness of PTSD. I think that's very important. I saw an estimate that approximately 70% of all Americans will experience a traumatic event significant enough to cause PTSD symptoms. Not all will experience PTSD, but a lot will. PTSD is a condition that occurs as you suffer through a traumatic event. And there's many different kinds of trauma other than war-related. Go back to 1964, the Civil Rights Act, which was designed to stop discrimination based on color, also to protect gay and transgender workers. It was a small step in the right direction, but we need to continue to recognize that discrimination causes trauma. Natural disasters. I lost my office back in October 2019. Medical trauma. You're diagnosed with cancer. Of course, sexual assault and domestic violence. Trauma exists in everyday life, and I believe that all of us will experience trauma in our life. And when that happens, that trauma lives in our brain and our body. When we talk about the brain, those frontal lobes, they just completely shut down. So you've got the left hemisphere, and that's the logic. That's where we can plan everything. That's what helps us move forward from the trauma. And that's where we explain things. We're biased more for positive on the left side. Then you've got the right side, and that's the emotional. That's where the emotion and the love is. And did you know 2/3 of the cells on the right side of the brain are scanning for threat and for danger? The right side's more biased for the negative. So the problem is the left side can't plan and control, and the right side can't calm the brain down, so the amygdala takes over. And that makes our decisions much more emotional and more impulsive. So when you know somebody that's been through a traumatic event, try to be more understanding. And there are a couple of things that you can do to help them. And one is coach them. Help them be present and stay in the moment and practice some mindfulness. And, use your ability to be the noticing part of their brain. When you see that they handle a traumatic situation, something that usually triggers them really well, point that out to them. Recognize them for that. Make them feel good about it. And help them to be less judgmental about it. And I think the other thing that you can do is you can help them educate themselves. If you've experienced military trauma, the VA, the government has a great PTSD website. If you've had other trauma, NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness, does as well. So understand that PTSD occurs in all of us, and it is something that can be treated, and you can come through it. But you have to lean into it. You have to process that, whether that's through cognitive behavioral therapy, the neurofeedback work that we do at the Brain Performance Center trains at that subconscious level, and that's where trauma lives. So if you know somebody that's suffering from PTSD, please reach out, encourage them, and lend support.